So I'm Mark from Aesthetic Studio in Toronto, and our project is the Little Robot Friends. We've got 3 different friends in the family. Each robot is born with a unique personality, and its behavior changes as you interact with it. It responds to light, to sound,
hello,
to touch, and even to each other. We're a business. We make interesting things, displays, exhibits, a bunch of installations for different types of institutions. But this project in particular, the Little Robot Friends, is something that it would be really challenging to set aside the time for. And so what this Kickstarter has allowed us to do is to focus on this project. We're hoping to spend the next 6 months of the year doing nothing but building robots. And I try to think about talking to like the 6-year-old self, and about, hey man, don't worry, when you turn 36, what you're going to be doing is making robots for a living. And it's I don't think I would have believed myself, really. Yeah, I mean, there's all these steps that you have to take in order to get to that point. But I think I would have been pretty jazzed at this idea that when I'm an adult, I'm going to be working on robots for a job. So one of the things that we're doing right now is to form an official partnership with Arduino. And they've been working on a new program called Arduino at Heart. It's a way for you to say, look, you buy our thing, no matter what, you're going to be able to program it with Arduino. And we hope that a lot of people use this as their first Arduino project, their first experiment with it. And for a lot of people, they're going to find it, they'll find it a challenge at first. But Arduino has such a great community, and there's so many wonderful resources out there on the web that are completely free. But what we wanted to do was to create a dock that wasn't just a programming cable, but was really a way to extend the power of the little robot. So what we're working on is that every dock is going to be another Arduino. So if you want to add a bunch of your own sensors, if you want to connect it up to a motor or connect it up to a bell, what you can do is you can do all of that on the dock, wire up your dock in a special way, plug this guy in, and all of a sudden now he can feed off of all of the other connections that are in the dock. This was our milled out piece for the dock base. And what we're planning to do is that for people who get a dock with a robot, is we actually revised the design now, so it's actually going to be milled out of the same piece of wood.
Oh, cool.
I wanted to make a bunch of little toys. And so I made these guys, which are called the 9-volt guys. And they're just little digital puppets. So they just snap onto a battery, and their little speaker just sticks.
Oh, that's amazing.
And then they would just, you would just like hold imaginary conversations with them, but they don't really do much more than this. At this time, the microcontroller that we could actually fit on a board like this was very, very limited. So we couldn't do any advanced programming at all. Essentially to take this idea of like a small, intelligent robot with a lot of personality, and to turn that into a real project. We had a new team member join us who is a industrial designer and product designer. And so I tasked him with okay, let's imagine that Kickstarter is going to launch in Canada, and we want to get these things ready for Kickstarter. So that is your task. And lo and behold, the next week we found out that Kickstarter is launching in Canada precisely when we kind of imagined the timeline would work. And so we're like, all right, so this is real. So let's get these things ready for Kickstarter. And so we revised the design. We did a lot of brainstorming on different ways that we could kind of incentivize these things in order to make them more unique. So we have a limited number of ones that we're going to be shipping out before the end of the year. And that's 100.